All right, cool. So I guess I want to talk about Zion.
I just got
Obviously,
a
you're a Michael Jordan fan. People love to compare Zion to Jordan and LeBron. I don't really know who they. I mean, they do. They compare Zion to Jordan and LeBron. That's who I see people comparing to. I don't see people. I don't see nobody in their right mind comparing that man to Charles Barkley.
Shit, a lot of people better than Charles Barkley.
That man already better than Charles Barkley.
Relax.
He is. He's only 20 games into it, and he was out of shape. So let's talk about Zion. Zion looks to be in shape. He looks to be in shape now. What are your thoughts on Zion? How do you feel about Zion? How do you think he would perform in this season and beyond? And obviously you don't agree with me, but I'm sorry. I think Zion is going to be better than LeBron, I think. So he already going to be better than Charles Barkley. Giannis is already better than Charles Barkley.
Well, your LeBron high is pretty. Your LeBron bar is pretty low. So
my LeBron. No, it's not. It's actually very, very high. It's actually extremely high. It's extremely high, which is why I'm so upset that he didn't win as much. Which is the same thing for Wilt Chamberlain. My bar for those guys are set extremely high. Because when you are the best, this is the same reason why Kevin Durant will never, ever, 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 ever be considered to be the greatest player or even considered to be the best player of his era, is because he did not, on his own, as the guy, go out and do it as the guy. He went to the Warriors, stacked up, won his rings, and then even LeBron got one on his own. Or one where he deemingly did it on his own.
He didn't win enough.
Yes. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But also, I think KD. But also, I think if KD would have played better, and he's one of those players that I don't think has ever lived up to his truest potential. I think his truest potential was GOAT. But I don't think that's what he lives to play basketball for. We've never seen a player at his height with that skill. Ever.
I think he got too close to it. I think he lived too attention to Golden State. I think Golden State was the best version of KD you can possibly get because of the way that Steve Kerr used him. He used him the way he should have always been used. But Zion,
his fault for leaving. Go ahead. Yeah. But I think Zion has that potential. But I also think Zion has that dog in him. Go ahead, Johnny.
Sure. And I didn't mean bar in terms of expectations. I'm talking about how great they're going to be. But as far as expectations, yeah, I get what you're saying. But Zion's nice, man. And I'm hoping they don't try to turn him into this guy who's just shooting a bunch of like perimeter shots and stuff. Like he's shooting 60%. Like for a while, he was shooting like 60% from the field. I haven't checked his numbers.
No, he's still shooting above 60% from the field.
Yeah, so he's just super efficient. And when you're shooting like the way they equate that.
Well, you know what? Actually, no, he's shooting 58.9% from the field goal range, 46% from the three-point line, and 64.5% from the free throw line. His effective field goal percentage is 59.9. His PER currently is 24.2. He's averaging 23.
You froze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, froze for you too. Well, all right, then I'll just keep talking. Yeah, so I love Zion. I hope they don't try to just turn him into a perimeter player. I don't see – I mean, I've heard the Charles Barkley comparison. I have heard that. But I see a combination of Charles Barkley. I see a little bit of Sean Kemp, and I see a little bit of Dominique Wilkins.
Sorry if I went offline. My computer
I like that. I like that combination. Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp, Dominique Wilkins. I like that.
Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp. I like that.
He could finish. He's got that build. And, like, dude, I mean, he's still growing into his man body. Like, he isn't even in his man body yet. And he's just, like, bullying people down low in the paint. And so, yeah, I'm excited about him. The biggest question mark is, can he stay healthy? And so before you go, oh, he's going to be better than this guy, better than this guy, his explosiveness, his size, the amount of, like, weight that he carries around with him, like, that's the kind of guy that could get a really big injury. So,
I think he only needs to play 10 seasons to be greater than Charles Barkley, which puts him top 20 all time.
Where do you rank Charles Barkley all time?
Somewhere in between like that 15 to 25-ish range.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
I don't think he's better than Steph Curry, KD, D Wade, Dirk, Duncan, Kobe, obviously, Shaq, those guys. I think he's more so in the class with like the, kind of right below the David Robinsons of the world.
Sure. I mean, Charles, for me, might be the greatest player who never won a championship. Like, he shot four.
I'd say Karl Malone.
Russell Westbrook is.
Yeah, I mean, Carl, I'll put it this way. I feel like Carl, from when watching them, I feel like Carl had the better career when they were at their best. Charles was better. That's what I feel. Yeah, because he was really good. He was putting up nice numbers, but Charles really started putting on a lot of weight in the later 90s. Like, he didn't have longevity. If he took care of himself better, he could have had some mean numbers, but he just didn't do that. Like, by the time he was with the Rockets, he was already starting to be washed up a little bit. So.
Fair. For me, I mean, Zion looks great, I guess. I mean, we didn't see a full picture of him, but I mean, it looks like he lost. I mean, I don't know how many pounds he lost, but it looked like he lost some weight. Like, he looks a little bit more toned. I'm with you. I think injury would always be a concern for a guy like Zion. But I think even with Zion, I think his body is big enough that even if by God something did happen to him, he could still find a way to go out there and get 20 and 10 just because his body is so big. My thing with Zion has always been his rebounding, though. Well, not has always been, but when he was playing, obviously TBJ brought in the thing that he wasn't in shape. My thing is he should be leading the league in rebounds. If not leading the league in rebounds, he should definitely be leading the league in offensive rebounds. And if he doesn't do that, then I'll be disappointed. I know he'll be able to score, but I'm more worried about his defense and his rebounding, personally. I think he should be an all first-team defender for at least maybe 5 to 8 years of his career, and I think that he should be the best offensive rebounder in the league every single year.
Yeah. Well, he might get. I mean, the dude's we've just seen his first year, and I mean, you look at some of the greatest players of all time.
We've seen his first 19 games. We didn't even see his first year yet.
Exactly. That's what I further proves my point. Is like what I've seen from him so far is
great. It's incredible.
Yeah. So my turn. I know the fans are ready for me to unleash. We saw it in there. Zion, the Lion. Y'all hated on my nickname, and now all I see when people tweet me about Zion, they call him the Lion. Zion, the Lion. I know, shout out to all of y'all that want to hear what I have to say about Zion. Zion specifically, I think him coming back into shape is the best thing that he could have possibly done for himself. He said yesterday in his or today, I believe, whichever day it was, in his Zoom media availability, that he did not work out with any other players, that he spent the majority of quarantine working out and trying to get in shape. And when he was playing basketball, it was only him and his stepfather that was playing basketball together. And that's essentially how he worked himself into shape. And he feels as though he is in shape finally, and he's ready to go. And he feels as though, finally he is in a place that he needs to be. I think this is the scariest thing in the world for LeBron James. LeBron James. You better be worried. You better hope Zion, the Lion, does not come through and make food out of these hyenas that are the Lakers right now. Because all of these B players out there, especially if Dwight Howard don't play, which he said he wasn't, but then we already know what happened when that check get to calling. You pick up that phone. Hello,
I mean, I think Dwight.
Hello, check. Is that you,
Dwight on
check?
the minimum deal, G. I think that Dwight.
It don't matter. Hello, check. Is that you, check? I can't hear you, check. But even more reason for him not to do it, because the check ain't there.
I think he might just want
to. So if Dwight Howard ain't there and the Lakers play the Pelicans in the first round, Zion, the Lion, is going to run wild all over Orlando and all over that Lakers home court parquet that they got installed in the middle of some random convention center. Don't play no games with Zion. I told you he going to be better than LeBron. I told you Luka Doncic will be better than LeBron. Luka going to be better than LeBron. So watch out for my two sons to come out in the playoffs and go crazy. Zion, the Lion, and Luka Doncic. You heard it here. So remember I said it. That's it.
So here's a question I have for you guys.
Zion, the Lion.
Do you feel like Zion, like everybody talks about him getting in shape. Everybody talks about him losing weight and stuff. Why is that narrative so strong? Because for me, like, just real quick, when I look at Shaq, what's Shaq's best years? When he put on all that weight.
Yeah.
I actually kind of, sort of.
See, he don't like Shaq when he put on.
See, hold on. I honestly
like 03 to 0. I honestly really like Big Shaq.
I honestly think some of Shaq's best year were like 98 to like 2000. Honestly, to keep it G with you.
That's when he got big, dude.
But he got bigger after that. Like 02, 03,
okay.
bigger. So what Big Shaq are you talking about? Because it's like different versions of Big Shaq. That's different versions of Big Shaq.
2004, Kobe's chewing him out like right before they split up. Big, like I'm talking like when he puts on, like he's not Orlando Magic Shaq.
Okay.
All the masks. And when I look at Zion, I don't go, oh my God, like the dude's just so big, like get a hold of yourself. Like, no, he just got a lot of mass to him, and I feel like he can use that to his advantage. And I saw Shaq do it. So when I hear people talking about this, I'm like, sure, it might increase his longevity. It might make me worry less about him hurting himself when he lands. But, I mean, dude, part of his skill set is that body. And so I don't know if I necessarily want his game to lose that. That's just me.
Pavi, you can go ahead. You can talk because I have opinions on this, obviously.
I mean, I don't think he needs to be. I think he said he was 285. I think 285 at 6'6" is a little heavy. I think that even if he lost 20 pounds, he's still probably almost the heaviest player in the league. I mean, I think he could probably. I don't know how much he lost. I think he could stand to be more like 265, 270. I mean, I think that because you gotta think if you 285 right now, like you said, you haven't got your man body. You get your man body, it's probably like 10, 15 pounds anyway. That puts you at 300 pounds. I don't know how much you really want a 300 pound 6'6" player. Could it work? I mean, sure. But like you said, but like for longevity, it's probably not the best thing. Worry about lower extremities, back, things like that. But yeah, I'm not one of those guys who thinks he got to lose like 40 pounds, something like that. Like, nah, if he's 265, 270, he'll be fine.
Yeah, me personally. Yeah, go ahead. Me personally, I don't think that Zion needs to lose any weight at all. I think that he needs to work on eliminating the fat in his body. I think he's a person that is extremely muscular. And when he's fat and he has fat on his body, that's when I'm worried about him. If he's just a chiseled 265, 3% body fat, 5% body fat, perfect. That's you probably at your optimal, body weight and body fat because of how you're built. But
like it's Karl Malone more than Charles.
Yeah, exactly. Because Karl Malone, a lot of people don't remember. Karl Malone was a guy that was known for having a huge body, huge arms, massive legs, massive torso, massive head. Yeah, especially later on. Was he juicing? We don't know. But Zion is that big already, right? So he just needs to chisel himself out, refine himself, lean himself out. Like LeBron has never gone for bulk. He's gone for lean. You know what I mean? Which is what has allowed him to continue to be better because he focuses on
except for Miami.
Yeah, but my only argument against that, and I'm fine with you saying that, but that's a natural progression. Every NBA player naturally bulks up 6-7 years in their career. Even look at Dame. Dame was a guy that was smaller in stature, and if you look at him now, he's a lot more muscular and bulkier because he put on that weight.
Yeah, but what I would say about that was that LeBron got to be about whatever he was in Miami. Do you remember that first year back in Cleveland, he had back problems. And then he came back. I think he lost a little bit of weight. Now he looks a little bit slimmer. But those couple years in Miami, LeBron was huge.
He like
Miami
looked big as hell to me.
No, I've seen Bron in person. I've dapped Bron up. Bron is actually slim. Like he's like in person, he's actually slender. Like obviously he's hella strong, but he's slender. Miami LeBron looked like a cyborg. And then he had the back issues when he came back. Remember, he took that 2 weeks off that first year in Cleveland, went to Florida to kick it with D-Wade, and came back windmill, and I don't know what the hell happened. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I'm just looking at Zion. I just want him to just go and chisel his body out, and really focus on his dexterity, his mobility, and his ability to be able to stretch and be able to stretch his muscles out. Because I think that for him more than anything, honestly, I think the best thing Zion can do would really be to get into yoga, especially hot yoga. Because then that'll allow him to shed some pounds while he's doing it, but also work on his, ability to be able to stretch his muscles. Because he's a guy that once they start to load up the paint on him, and I said this on the Chill Takes podcast when I was interviewed this week. I said Zion is a guy that has to develop that LaMarcus Aldridge like 14 to 18 foot jumper, and if he can do that, he can be unstoppable. And yes, he can. Yes, he can. I think he does. He needs to get a jump shot because they're going to load up on him in the paint, and then he's going to be coming down on people's legs and ankle. It's the same problem Derrick Rose had. Derrick Rose, what happened was they started loading up on him in the paint. He was still doing foolish stuff. He was still doing, but also we have to think about this. This is Zion's had 2 knee injuries. His shoe exploded before, then he had a knee injury and had meniscus surgery. If I'm not mistaken,
was it the same knee or was it different knees? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. I'm
just asking you a question.
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's still just as bad because he's a guy. You don't want 2 knee issues. I mean, 1 is bad. 2 is even worse, especially if you hurt your knee when your shoe exploded and then you tore your meniscus in the other knee. So he's a guy that needs to focus on getting in tune with his body, getting in tune with being able to stretch, to be able to move in awkward positions. So that way when he's trying to maneuver, because I was also watching a lot of tape of him the other day, and he's a guy that likes to go left, and he's a left-handed player, and a lot of people don't realize that about him. But even when he's going right, he has to get his right hand more refined, and he has to be able to hit a 14 to 18-foot jump shot. I don't even need him to hit threes. That 14 to 18-foot jump shot, even a pump fake, that pump fake alone is going to pause that defender, and as big and quick as he is, his first step should allow him to explode and get to the rim, be able to elevate easy buckets. If he can't do that, they're going to back up off him like they do Ben Simmons. And then we're going to be talking about how Zion can't score against teams in good defense. And you're going to be slandering him.
The reason why
I said that on July 2nd, 2020.
The reason why I disagree with that is because I actually think Zion's first step is quicker than Ben Simmons' number 1. I also think that he's skilled in the post. Like, if you give him the ball about like on the block, he can actually do moves. I think Zion needs to just work on his post game. I think that he needs to pull up all the Zebo footage, pull up some Kevin McHale. Like your body is so big that once you put it on most people, bro, even if they're taller than you, you can shield you and they can't block it. Then your second jump is probably the best second jump in the league. That's why I say these should also lead the league in offensive rebounding.
But that's energy he has to waste.
But one thing I think that makes Zion so great is his energy. I think his motor is also quite possibly the highest in the league. I want to use that motor.
You can't keep that up at 285, 6'6" forever.
See, that's
eventually. So that's why I'm saying he has to develop. Yeah, because even if, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you talk in 1 second. Because even if you look at a guy like Zebo, right? Zebo was a big guy and he could play great on the post. He could use his weight and bully people around, but if you left Zebo, you couldn't leave Zebo open. You couldn't leave him open for 3, but you couldn't leave him open when he was inside of the arc because he could hit any shot from inside of the arc. That wasn't his bread and butter, but you couldn't leave him open. And if he hit you with a pump fake that allowed him to get you in the air or get you off your balance, he hit you with a couple bangs, whether it be with his big body or obviously his first move wasn't that. And also Zebo, another guy, left-handed player that is a big guy. So Zion has to develop a jump shot.
Memphis also didn't have
going to make him.
Either.
But also we don't know what his teams will look like in the future.
I mean, I hope some damn shooting.
Yeah, but you play with him on NBA 2K. You say he plays on only bad teams. So he has to be a guy that has to develop his game beyond just being a guy that's going to be in the paint. Otherwise, they're going to load up on him and his career will not go the way I think it can. And he has to be a 3-dimensional player. Otherwise, he will fail in the NBA. And I mean that.
We have to see because, I mean, making adjustments in a playoff series, win a 7-game series, like that's where it matters. That's why I feel like D'Antoni can have talented teams but never wins. Is because you know what you're getting from it. You know, is they don't adapt. They don't make adjustments. And so maybe Zion gets into a playoff series and they kind of figure him out and he's not able to make adjustments. But my question is, what kind of player do you want him to be? Because we keep on bringing up Shaq. I'm like, Shaq doesn't have a jump shot.
I don't want him to be Shaq.
If you want Zion to lead the league in rebounds, he's good where he's at. Like he's the size, the mass, like you want that. You know,
I don't want him to do that. I don't want him to do that.
The only thing I don't want to survive. I mean, meniscus tears are a big deal. It's funny how it's all coming full circle because the knee issue is kind of being a theme right now.
That's why I don't want him to do that.
Yeah.
That's why I literally just said Zach Randolph. Zach Randolph did not depend on athleticism to be effective.
I'm not saying Zion has to either. I'm saying depending on your size. Rebounding has nothing to do with athleticism.
Randolph had a jumper. He had a jumper. He did not have a jumper. Did Zebo have a jumper? Yes or no? Did he have a jumper? Yes or no?
But listen,
so that's my only point.
Listen. Zebo had to have that because of the team he plays on. if you put Zebo in the league right now, he's playing center, and you put him with spacing on the court. And Zion is also a pretty good passer at his size. If you double Zion, he will find whoever. So I'm more concerned. I think
Zebo wasn't a good passer.
Not like Zion.
Zebo was
not like Zion.
Zebo's not as athletic as Zion. So
and also,
you can't see it in the vastness of what it is.
But if
you talk about body types, they about what in terms of the same body type. Except for Zion is a little bit shorter, but way more athletic.
No, Zebo's nowhere near as strong as Zion either. Zebo didn't have the muscle Zion.
Zebo was a strong player. I disagree.
He ain't got the muscle Zion got. G.
Zion might figure out.
Zebo was a longer version of Zion. Zion is a more compact, athletic version of Zebo.
Zion will figure it out. Because, I mean, he's not just going to shoot layups and dunks like his entire career. He's played 19 games. Okay. So, I mean, like,
he hasn't done that during his 19 games. But he has to keep it up. And he has to hit that 14 to 18-foot jumper, or they're going to seal him off, or run a zone against him, or a soft zone, and he won't be able to do anything.
I think that'll come.
Because anybody can say what they want to about Luka, but you can't call Luka a one-dimensional player. You can't. He's not a one-dimensional player. He's a rebounder. He can pass the ball. He can also score. He can also shoot when he wants to, and he's decent in the mid-post.
Yeah, but what else?
One-dimensional?
Huh?
Is one-dimensional?
Is who?
He's on one side of the court. That's for sure.
Who?
Luka. I'm like,
rebounding ain't a part of defense.
It's a part of defense. You can't end up possession until you get a rebound.
You can't almost average a triple double and be giving me 8 rebounds a game, and I'm saying you ain't playing no defense.
I think
because you got to even crash to the rim to get a rebound.
Not really anymore.
It's like 3 points.
All his rebounds coming off of missed threes. Come on, man. They can all clank it out super far.
Yeah, kind of with their shooting.
Oh my God! All right. Okay. Well, then if that's the case, then LeBron rebounds don't mean nothing now either. So y'all talking to me earlier about LeBron rebounding and how this is good, so he ain't washed. That rebound don't mean nothing either because he getting long rebounds. They clank it off the side iron from threes.
I'm not going to use rebounds as an argument.
I said he is not a one-dimensional player. I didn't say he was a defensive player. I said he's not one-dimensional. And if Zion does not learn how to shoot in the mid-range, he is going to be one-dimensional. They're going to turn him into a 285-pound slasher.
That's not really one-dimensional. For one, he can get the ball off the glass. He's quick. If he gets in transition and he's sprinting to the rim with 2 people on the outside of him, who the hell taking the charge from Zion?
That's why it's hard for me to criticize his game or say that he just can't keep doing this because when have we last seen a player like Zion? Have we ever seen a player like Zion? You know, it's like he reminds us of Charles Barkley, kind of reminds us of Shaq, but I see a whole lot of Sean Kemp in there too.
I see a lot of LeBron James in him. I don't understand why he's not a passer like LeBron James, but I see people act like LeBron wasn't a guy that ran the break. Most of his greatest dunks came from him running the break. LeBron was usually the first one after a rebound. If it won the point guard or if he went in the front court, the first one back in the back court getting the ball to lay it up or dunk it. I don't understand why people bring up all of these other players that were just dunkers. I don't want Zion to just be a dunker. I don't just want him to be a slasher. You can't be successful in the NBA just being a dunker and a slasher. You can't.
He wasn't just a dunker and a slasher.
No, I know that. I didn't. Yes, but what is he known for? He's known for dunking. That's what he's known for. Zion has the potential to expand his game and be known for more than just dunking. And that's the only way he's going to be as good as I think he can be.
Nobody said he shouldn't expand his game. Like, he should expand his game.
Yes, but that comes with that jump shot. If he can't shoot a jumper, what good is he going to be if he can't shoot a jumper?
He'll be very good. You can post up. You can have a hook shot.
How?
You can rebound the ball. What you mean how?
Who is he shooting over when he posts up? Every post up move he going to have to take is going to have to be within 4 feet of the rim. He's 6'6".
No, you can shoot a hook shot from like 8 feet away.
He don't have a hook shot. That's what I'm saying.
One.
No, get a 14 to 18 foot jumper and then make them pump fake and drive to the rim and annihilate them.
I just don't think
you want him to develop a hook shot. You know how hard it is to develop a hook shot versus a 14 to 15 foot jumper. You want him to develop a hook shot.
I just don't think
hook shot in 2020. A hook shot.
Yeah, why can't you use a hook shot? This should still work.
No, you can use a 14 to 15 foot jumper.
But
you have to learn it early on. I mean, Kareem was doing that ever since he was a kid. Like, that's the way he shoot. You go out there and you try to shoot a hook shot, you're like 3 feet off. Like, that's not just something you all of a sudden equipped to your game.
I just hate that we're in the era in which we think everybody needs to be able to shoot the ball. Like, no, I don't think we did do. I think that Zion can use his size and be effective for years. Just get you a post move, get you some post games, run the break, rebound the basketball. He'll be fine. And also, I like the way that they get him going on the run sometimes as well. I like how they get him going on the run. Like a lot of plays, he'll be coming off a curl and coming to the rim with momentum. And again, we're in 2020.
You ain't never seen Hakeem Olajuwon play basketball?
I agree with you both because I don't think he needs a 3-point shot. Okay, I'm tired of
the mid range.
I'm tired of them pushing 3-point shots on everybody. He doesn't have to be a 3-point shooter, especially if he's shooting basically 60% from the field. Play to your strengths, dominate down low, and then as you're a slasher, kick it out to the open guys as you bring in the double. Like that's what you should do. But I get what TBJ is saying. You know,
but I'm not asking him to have a 3-pointer. I just want him to be able to hit a 14 to 18-foot jumper. Literally, if he can fill up that back part of that shot chart instead of the 3-point line, his center in the middle, right by the rim, is going to be red. But if all of it is just in the middle by the, where the rim is, everything else is going to be cold. He has to be a multifaceted scorer on offense. And that doesn't mean shoot threes, but that means you have to be able to play within the mid-range and inside. If he was 7 feet tall, you wouldn't be hearing these arguments from me.
I mean, I think
he's 6'6".
I mean, I think he could use a corner three or like a wing three when like somebody is wide open. I think you can like run a pick play instead of him rolling this time. He just drops back and just shoots the ball. I just don't think like that mid-range game for Zion isn't just something that I think he needs to have. I'm sorry. At least not yet.
Could you imagine if LaMarcus Aldridge had Zion Williamson's athleticism?
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
But because isn't LaMarcus like 7 feet? Isn't like LaMarcus like 7 feet?
But he don't make his money off being 7 feet. He make his money in the mid range.
He also make his money in the post too. He's also a good post scorer, and he's also.
And I just told you Zion can play in the post, but get a mid range. All I'm saying is get a mid range. It's nothing wrong with him going out and getting a mid range.
Also,
if it's not a mid range game, what does he need to work on? That's my question.
Exactly. What else is there to work on? He's shooting 40% from the 3-point line right now.
I think keep getting. Okay. Hold on. Wait. The 40% from the free throw line is skewed.
I'm sorry.
The 40% 3-point line is skewed because most of it came in the one game, and I think he made like 1 3 after that. For one, I think he could work on his free throws. He's going to get fouled all the time. If he can shoot 78% from the free throw line, I think that even adds hold an element to his game because he's going to get. He's probably going to lead the league in free throws every single year he plays.
He's taking 13 threes and made 6 of them. Stop being disrespectful.
Most of them came in the first game.
It doesn't matter.
Most of them came in the first game.
Averages are not what happened in one game. Averages are about what happened in all of the games.
I'm just saying.
You don't average something because of one game.
I'm just saying
it's because of the totality of it. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying him shooting threes is skewed because he made most of them in the first game. The first game is where he made most of them. So him shooting threes is a little bit skewed.
Any good shooter is going to tell you that if you improve as a free throw shooter, you're going to improve as a shooter anywhere on the court. And so that's going to naturally, I mean, he's working on 15-footers the whole time he's working on his free throws. I'm kind of agreeing with both of you and seeing both of your sides here. Like, sure, he can work on his free throws. Sure, he's going to work on his mid-range. There's overlap there, But I do think he needs to expand his game. I also think the dude's played 19 games, pretty freaking awesome as his. That'll come,
Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Roll up this, you pullin', now you know it. Fresher than a mass contract. Pullin' up, we walkin' and we walkin' in the back.